So you want to give advice while we eat pizza?
Yeah. Can I say one more thing? Did you ever see Brokeback Mountain? I watched that last night.
I actually never watched it, but I know the plot.
Oh.
Did it break your heart?
Oh my God. It
Those
was
poor
like
cowboys just wanted to be. They just wanted love to be loved. Love is love.
But it wasn't even that. Like the one like could not be with him because he's like because it takes place like the 60s, 70s, and 80s. It's like through the era and stuff like that. It's I can't spoil it, can I? Because it's like 2004. But it is like
You can spoil it.
Oh my God, yeah. So, well, basically, like they do fall in love with each other. They're both married to women. This takes place in the 60s or whatever. And then Jake Gyllenhaal gets like beat in the face to death for being gay in Texas. And then the wife, played by Anne Hathaway, like I think she was in on it at the end because she calls.
Not much changed since then in Texas, I don't think.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's what's so okay. I'm not trying to get all like heated about this, but there's still people are still like that. Like trans people are getting beat in their face to death.
No, I'm
like,
so over that shit.
And so like watching it, I was just like, holy shit. And like Heath Ledger, Jake Gyllenhaal said Heath Ledger refused to make like gay jokes about it, like during the Oscars, and I don't know.
Is there a third pizza?
You're so not good about this. Okay, let's go to your stupid.
Make sure that
I don't like
pizza.
this segment. Just for the record, fan advice is a stupid segment.
Why?
But we can do it. It's so dumb. What's the point?
To give advice to our fans.
But that's not the like. Oh, no, that's like when people run out of ideas and they start doing Q&As. Like Tyler Oakley ran ideas. So it's like we're gonna do Q&As now because we have nothing else to talk about. Okay, go ahead. It's such a dumb segment.
It's so not.
It's like we have nothing to fill the time.
Okay, well, what you want to talk more about the Brokeback Mountain, a movie from fucking like 10 years ago?
It's like a lazy podcast. Like we're gonna play games on the like you know.
A lazy podcast. You don't do anything for it. You just show up. We do all the work.
Oh my God! Yeah, right.
How am I wrong?
With what? I always contribute. You never had like. First of all, when you were doing all the podcasts, it was like Keemstar, Jake Paul, like, and everyone's like, we're so sick of hearing about this because it's everything. Like, I saw on this, you had stuff from last H3. You just recycle H3 content on Frenemies. You're like, oh, we're gonna do Trisha through the history meme or whatever, and you already did that on the last episode, and I saw it on here.
I didn't bring it up. I didn't say it.
But the fact that it's already on there, like, I had to bring up all these other topics because I'm like, I don't want to go to that because you brought it up last week.
Let's see. We put together this Gabby Hanna segment.
I mean, I literally, again, could have done that for my head. I always chime in with my topics. Like, I always do because, like, I try and steer it.
Okay, what did you bring on the Logan Paul fight?
I brought it up, first of all, because it's something trending.
You're like, I don't even know what to say about it. Yeah, I don't even know why people watch.
I never pick the costumes. I never do the vlogs. I give so many ideas. I say dancing for the vlogs. I give all these ideas, and you don't. It's just
what's wrong with that advice
for you? I don't think it's a good segment.
The people want to hear from us.
Okay. Do it. I'm just telling you my opinion. And all the vlogs we've done, I've suggested other vlogs, and like that never does.
Well, if you don't like it, then we shouldn't do it.
Okay.
Since it's a show about me and you.
No, but you're saying I do all the work, but I'm telling you I don't like all the stuff you do. I'm just kind of go with it because I'm like, okay, I guess this is what you want to do, but I have to start saying no because some things are just not good ideas.
I like it for the record.
Okay.
Sometimes you got really interesting questions.
They're not though.
Brutal.
I just don't like when we spend like, well, whatever.
Go ahead, say it. There's a good script.
But you're asking like, we do all the work. It's like we spent one Frenemies rehashing all the stuff you said about Keemstar and H3 Live, which was 2 days prior.
Okay, it happened
like,
one time.
No, it's happened before where you just like bring up stuff that you already mentioned and it's fine. But
why are you attacking me?
You asked me, you said, tell me, and I'm telling you, like, just because you guys come up with everything doesn't mean it's good. It's recycled, a lot of it. So it's like, I can come up with new ideas. A lot of it.
No. Mm-hmm. If you have ideas, I'm all ears.
I watch H3 Live, and we talk about the same thing, and I'm happy to talk about it.
It's not always like that. It's happened before, I agree.
It happened last time. It's happened a lot.
It didn't happen last time, did it?
The title was like pregnancy announcement, which is I'm happy to talk about the pregnancy.
We talked a lot about the pregnancy here.
But it wasn't the pregnancy announcement H3 Live was. It's your guys' thing, which I'm happy to talk about. I'm happy for you guys. But to say like, oh, we don't recycle things, it's like, you know, you do, and it's fine. But I don't make it the same title because it's not an announcement. We're talking about your pregnancy.
I wouldn't say recycling. It's a different conversation.
The original one was Trisha's gonna like something, and it doesn't have to be about me, but I'm just saying like the fact that it's a pregnancy announcement again when it's not a pregnancy announcement because I'm not pregnant. You know what I mean? We're talking about your guys' pregnancy. It was an announcement. You announced it on H3 Live.
Oh, you thought that people would think it was about you being
pregnant?
Of
course it was, because you are, unless you're just recycling the same title you did for H3 Live, which is, it's not, it's just like, I watch H3 Live, I don't want to talk about it on Frenemies. Like, if we're being honest,
well, we were going to talk about Hila being pregnant, obviously.
Of course. Yeah. But the title has to be pregnancy announcement?
I don't see why that's a problem.
Because you did that on Friday. You're just recycling titles. It's not an announcement. You weren't announcing it.
Okay, so Hila's pregnant, and I'm talking about it with Trisha. Would you prefer that?
Anything to be more creative. It's like the fact that you just talk about what you talked about the week prior is like, and I've seen other people call it out. It's not just me. Like, I mean, people have called it out before. Like the whole Keemstars, I didn't know it was like the 30 minutes was exactly the 30 minutes you did on H3 Live.
Yeah, I agree. That part was
That's
respectful.
crazy.
Sometimes I forget what I've talked about, honestly.
But you're saying you have all this crew that does all this work for you and nobody could remember that you talked about that 2 days prior?
I agree. Somebody should have said something. I was like, guys, why don't you tell me when I'm talking about the same shit over and over? Because I tell to them, I go, yo, make sure to include this. And they go, oh, okay. But I go, oh, shit, I talked about the same thing. But I feel like you're so angry about this.
I'm literally not, but it's
Yes,
so
you
funny.
are.
I'm not. I'm angry when you say something.
You need to admit when you're angry.
Ethan, I promise you, this is really is gaslighting. I go to a lot of therapy right now, and this really is. When I say I'm not angry, I'm not. I'm like just trying to tell you that you're like, oh, we do everything for the show, and I'm like saying it's not always good. I'm not angry. If I was angry, I would like leave or something, but I'm not. But you telling me I'm angry
or something. You're not upset or angry. Okay. All right.
But it is like frustrating when you think you do all this work and like think, oh, we're doing all this great stuff, and it's like, it's not that great sometimes. A lot of it is, and I like appreciate all the work you do and stuff like that, but it's also like not that great. I don't get input on like people we hire, like all this stuff like that. I don't get
people we hire. Why would I ask you about people I hire?
Because it's frenemies and you take the budget for paying the crew. That's what you told me. You take highlights, you take 5% to pay the crew.
No,
so why don't I get any input on the crew or what we do?
These are employees of our
So why are you taking
company.
highlights and 5% of frenemies? You told me that it was to pay them, that they could be working
for production costs.
Okay, but you told me
it's for
at the
production
beginning,
costs.
You told me at the beginning it's like they could be working on other things. So I made that argument too. I'm like, well, they're already H3. Oh, they could be working on other things. So I'm like, okay, in that case,
for production costs. I take 5% extra from the podcast revenue, and I take the highlights revenue, and everything else we split.
Right. So for production costs,
yeah.
But again, you were about to move us all to downtown LA, and I was just like, but the production cost should be included.
Yeah.
Like you were going to share the cameras because Dan said, "Oh, we have to get new computers and new cameras." Well, I'm like, Frenemies has the budget. And I obliged
you. I said, "Okay, fine."
But you fought me on it
because we bought a studio downtown. That was always the plan, by the way, that we were going to move downtown. And then all of a sudden, I was like, "Yo," and I was like, "Yo, we're moving." I told you ahead of time, but it's fine because
you didn't tell me downtown LA.
We're still at my house now, but I said, "Okay." So I was like, "Yo, by the way, we moved into our new office. We're going to be there next week. It's good." And then you're like, "Oh, I don't want to go down there." And we had made all these plans to move the set and everything and to do everything. So you're like, "I don't want to go down there." And then we talked about it for a little bit, and I said, "Okay, fine." And so we had to buy.
But that was the first time we ever spent money on production costs.
It's not about that, dude. It's literally about we are producing the show and I'm taking a cut. I feel like that's beyond reasonable.
All the highlights.
Beyond reasonable.
5%. 5%. Do you realize how much 5% was of our last one? That should be enough. But also like highlights, and then you weren't the membership I had to fight for because you weren't. You're like, oh, I forgot to tell you about the members. Like
I giving you
crazy.
50% of all the members, even though we work and do all the work. I don't know why you fight me on money. The deal you have is beyond reasonable.
Okay.
No, but I feel like a lot of frustration you have about everything with the.
Frustrated. When I'm bringing stuff up, you get defensive. I'm not frustrated. I'm pointing out these things because I would like to know. I just want everything to be a lot more transparent because I'm like, what are the production costs?
I can't be more transparent.
Can you show me all the costs of production
It's not like an itemized thing. We are doing the show. That's the cost.
So if you don't think 5% is like enough for the producing the show?
5% and the highlights was what we agreed to at the beginning, and that's what it is.
Oh my God. Okay. If you think that's what it's worth, okay.
It's worth more than that, to be honest with you. You're getting a very generous deal. And the sponsors that we work to get, right? We do all the work to bring the sponsors.
I mean, I had 50%. All of Adam and Eve for the first like 20 shows. So I mean, I appreciate what you do, but don't act like I don't bring it.
You brought Adam and Eve, and so that was one sponsor we worked with.
That's all we had for the first like.
And now we have tons of sponsors every episode because it takes time, obviously to get the show up and pitching, and you get 50% of all of that. I feel like the deal you get is super fair. And I feel like you're gaslighting me, to be honest, saying that you're not like frustrated about it.
But I'm not.
Because it really is a source of like every time something comes up where it's like, I hired somebody or this, that, and like, oh, you don't do that much on the show.
I'm bringing attention to it. I'm not upset. I would text you. I would tell you if I was.
It always comes down to, you get this extra 5%. And so
because you're saying, why should I get an input on the employees? That's what you said. And
because
you brought up to me
they
that
don't just work on Frenemies, they're my employees.
Okay, but when I said that to you originally, you said, oh, we pay the employees. They could be working on other things. So why don't we have Frenemies employees and I get input if we're spending 5% of the budget towards them?
I think that's not what it is.
That's what you said.
So then that's. But I don't remember. But that's
gaslighting is telling someone how they feel, and you're telling me how I feel, and I'm telling you I don't feel frustrated or upset. So I don't know what else that could be. How am I gaslighting you by telling you I'm not feeling this way? How is that gaslighting you? I'm not feeling this way.
Okay.
I wouldn't show up. I wouldn't come here. I would,
You listen. You can be upset and not because you can be upset and then also not be like, I'm not showing up. Fuck you.
I'm
Like,
not
there's
upset.
levels.
If I was upset, I wouldn't show
I'm just
up.
explaining. I'm just because you can be upset and still show up.
But I'm
That's
not
my point.
upset, and that's what gaslighting
all right.
is. Because you're saying I'm gaslighting you by saying
you. You're not upset. You're perfectly.
Oh, wow.
You're in a perfect condition right now.
Okay. Wow. Holy cow, that's crazy. I mean, I don't know how you. I just don't see what you just did. That's really.
What
crazy.
did I do?
We have to end it now. Like, really.
What did I do?
We got to stop for real. Really. We need
Okay.
to stop. Please. Okay.
Whenever you're ready, you can walk away.
So. No, because I don't want to title this.
It's the pizza curse.
Can we just edit
I'm not
going to
title it
It's not. All
Trisha's
right.
thing. It's the pizza curse. It is.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't have got pizza. The pizza? Oh no, it was pizza. Trisha, let me just say,
The
I'm
fact,
sorry.
Ethan, that you just did that, you're right. You're
I don't know
right.
what I just
Nothing's wrong
did.
with you. But I go. You don't know how much therapy I go to a week. I go to 4
But
Zoom
Trisha,
sessions a
you
week.
can't-
No,
I understand.
Ethan,
but
Ethan, what you
all right.
just said was, "You're right, Trisha. Everything's fine." That's insane. Like the fact that you did that to me is like
It's
insane.
not insane. We're friends.
was
We're
so
having
nice.
a friendly conversation. I shouldn't have to walk on eggshells around everything I say.
All right, Ethan.
We
I'm
have
asking to end this. I'm asking
You can leave anytime, Trisha.
But then you're making this thing where we're not ending the show, and you get to sit here and be like, "Okay, well that just happened," and you're eating pizza, and then
I
it's a
will
joke
end
and
the
whatever.
show the minute you walk
All right,
off the
so let's
frame.
just end it, please. Thank you guys for watching, and I don't want it to be a thing where you're just sitting here eating pizza and you become a meme.
So then I'll say, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't want to get in an argument over
really
like
need
your
to
emotion.
leave.
Okay. All right. We're done. Thank you guys.
Thank you.